Hey, soldiers, as this economy continues to change, and not all for the better, we have got to make sure that we have not only money to eat, to stay in our shelters, but also money to continue to purchase assets. Otherwise, we will remain on a hamster wheel and we'll confine our children and their children to that same hamster wheel. We've got to continue to buy assets. How do you do that in an environment where the economy is in flux? Listen, we're never going to get out of what we're in today. This is going to continue to evolve down the track that we're on right now. We are staring down the barrel of de-dollarization. It's going to happen. And when it does, America is not going to be able to afford all the things that we are used to in terms of an expansive military, all of these services, entitlement programs, okay? Then the American people, okay, you and me and others like us, are going to be in two camps, okay? The camp that understood what was going on, started building an ark, and those who paid no attention continued to, operate business as usual. And then the rain started falling. It's raining now, actually. It's just drizzling, but the deluge is coming. So you're going to need additional streams of income. We talk about it all the time on this channel. Now, we are going to discuss 3 streams of income. And if you stick with us, we're going to have a bonus stream of income at the end of this video. We're going to discuss 3 streams and then that bonus one that are going to work out to be the perfect side hustles for many of you. All right. We've got stuff all over the board here that will, you can get in where you fit in, where you're most comfortable. So let's jump right into it. Now, the first one, you might be a little, you might say, Tyrone, I don't know about that one. I've never heard about that one before. An insurance license. Get with your state licensing board and go through the process of getting your insurance license. Now, you might think, I don't want to sell insurance. Well, when you get your insurance license, I'm talking about a life and health insurance license. Very important that you get life and health. The reason for that is, sure, you could set up your own insurance business, your own, right? They're very lucrative if prosecuted correctly. And if you want more information about how to do that, then you can just drop me a line. I'll leave the link is in the description, but I'll make it explicit. But the other thing that you can do with an insurance license, you don't even have to set up your own business. Because the United States government operates 2 very big entitlement programs called Medicare and Medicaid, there are companies, big companies that you've heard of, like Aetna, like Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. These companies are always looking for licensed life and health insurance agents to help them market their products. You can't do it unless you have that license. Now, I know plenty of people who have part-time gigs working directly for these companies. And guess what? They're working from home. And even at part-time, they're still getting some benefits like a 401k and things like that. And they have time to do other things. So going to get your insurance license, your life and health license in your state would be something that could get you into this particular side hustle. Oh, and by the way, if you get your insurance license in your state, many of these companies, there's a company called Connection Point. They are one. Many of these companies will actually, they'll get your other states, they'll get you appointed in other states at no charge to you. All right. So they'll put you in a position where you can make some money on a side hustle basis, and you'll have that license, which gives you the ability to start your own business if you want to do that. Now, again, link in the description if you want more information about that. Okay, so that's one way. Let's move on to the next one. Now, a few months ago, we did a video where we profiled Mona Magia. This young lady had set up a business that focused on selling different items of clothing over the internet. And this actually turned into something much, much larger than a side hustle. In fact, Miss Magia made $735,000 at this business last year. Now, of course, she didn't just get into business and start making $750,000 instantly, but think about this. She led up to that. Now, even if she made $25,000 in the first year of operation, that's phenomenal as a side hustle, right? That could give you the type of money you need to subsidize some bills, and also so you can get ahead on your bills, and also money to continue to purchase assets, all right? Or to make the business that you're operating even bigger. This is the way you're going to need to think as we go further into the 2020s and are facing the 2030s, where, as I have said many times before, and we're going to do a video on this tomorrow, so subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss it. We're going to do a video talking about my prediction that the US dollar is going to lose its reserve currency status by the mid-2030s. And guess what? I'm not the only one that thinks that. Now there are big-time experts around the world looking at this, and there's some developments that are occurring that make it evident that we are in the opening stages of such an environment, such a predicament as losing the reserve currency status. So, Miss Magia, she set up an account on Poshmark to sell different items of clothing and whatnot for ladies, and I believe for children as well. Now, you might not be into fashion like she is. You may not have your finger on the pulse of that trend. That's fine. You do know a market, I'm sure, okay? Maybe you know some sort of specific, electronic device that people are, really fond of. Now, what you have to do, of course, is you have to figure out how you can acquire the item that you want to sell at one price and then sell it. You can buy it at one price and sell it at a higher price. Now, one of the things Miss Magia did was she started out selling clothing that was already in her closet, okay? And she just reinvested all of that money back into her business. She never spent any of it on anything other than the business. And you turn around, and a couple of years in, this lady made $750,000 just on selling items through the internet. So find that item or items that you could buy for one price, sell for a higher price, and play that arbitrage game where you can bring in that extra income, and you may not even have to spend a lot of time doing that. Now, speaking of your passions, okay, you might have a passion. This woman had a passion for different items of clothing. You might have a passion for electronics or something like that. Or you might have a specific skill set. This is another arena that you can get into. I know that earlier today, as a matter of fact, I'm always looking for these ways to cook the perfect steak. And there are so many videos online that show you how to do that, okay? So you may have a passion that people want to learn more about, and you can turn that into a class that you can market and sell. And the good thing about doing something like that is that class can sit out there on a platform and continue to earn revenue, and you've only given the class one time. Now, of course, you could refresh it over time, bring in new processes and new facts, or you could have an offshoot of something related to that topic and develop a series of classes. Now, look, a lot of people think, oh, well, I need to be an expert in something to do that. That is one of the things that hold a lot of people back, is thinking that they need to be an expert. Now, do you know why they call doctors, they say that they're a practicing physician or the practice of medicine? Because these people will never, ever become an expert at it because there's always something new to learn. But that does not, the fact that your surgeon is a practicing physician does not stop him from taking out your appendix. The fact that your orthopedist is a practicing physician does not stop her from working on your knee. So you don't need to be a top-notch expert. Some people just wait and wait and wait and, I got to learn this and I got to learn that. And by the time you learn half of it, you're probably going to be in your 80s and you're not going to want to do it anyway. So don't let that piece handicap you where you've got to be the end all, the be all, know it all. What you can do is as you learn more, you can just keep updating your material. This is what the authors of textbooks do all the time. Now, there are plenty of resources out there to help you build a course or a class. You can just Google that. Where can I host my online class? And they've got a ton of different platforms. You can research those, find the one that you're most comfortable with based on what you want to teach. Turn that information, monetize it. Monetize that information you have. Monetize that passion that you have to create another stream of income that could go on and work for you while you're doing something completely different, because people can just go back to the platform as you promote it and they can pull down these classes without you having to be directly involved as if you were a professor at a college teaching an actual class, a live class. It is an actual class, but teaching a live class 3 days a week. All right, now I promised you a bonus one. Now this one, this one is near and dear to my heart. YouTube. Now, this one's a little different because this is going to probably take you the most time to see revenue from. However, this also could be the most lucrative of several of the ones that I've mentioned. Now, the insurance license, that can be extremely lucrative, because another thing with your financial services licenses that I did not mention is when you sell a product, in many scenarios, you get paid on that product annually, as long as that client maintains that product. So that's one thing you need to know. So we're talking about side hustles here that can actually be very, very lucrative. YouTube is no different, but you're going to have to achieve 4,000 watch hours as of today. This is January 8th, 2023. Right now, YouTube says you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to qualify for their partner program, where they will pay you, get this, 55% of each ad dollar on your videos. Okay. That's sound like a fair deal to me. You are creating the content. They've got the platform that, has billions of people watching it every day. So this sounds very equitable, if you ask me. So you're going to need to do that. Now, here's the other thing about YouTube. Some channels take off depending on the subject matter, and some take a bit more time. Soldiers of Finance, for example. This channel is taking more time than, some other channels. And part of the reason for that is because finances is something that the American public does not automatically gravitate to. This is something that some people feel like, I'm afraid to approach it because I'm so far behind, or, maybe I got to know a lot of mathematics. So that's why we try to make it entertaining and easy to understand the news and understand concepts that will help you build financial independence and give you tips. We also do reviews. Okay. That's what our channel is about. But you could have a channel out there that is doing recipes, showing you how to fix a car or some other piece of machinery. Popular channels include those that do like ghost stories. I watch a lot of them at night. That's kind of how I fall asleep. Now, one thing you do have to understand is that YouTube does try to keep it as non-controversial as possible. So there are some subject matters that they're not going to be keen on paying you. They're not going to place their advertisers on certain controversial subjects. Now, you could do the research to figure out what those are. Again, the terms of service change, so I'm not going to go deep into that, because if you're watching this 3 months down the road, I don't want you to get the wrong impression. So there we have it. Look into maybe getting an insurance license and hooking up with one of those carriers that we talked about to handle Medicare. That's very lucrative and can be done on a part-time basis. Setting up your own coaching and your own coaching class, okay, based on a passion that you have, a skill set that you have. Selling items on the internet, your website, Amazon, Poshmark, Facebook, and putting together a YouTube channel. The other thing about YouTube, in addition to the ad revenue, which is AdSense, Google AdSense, in addition to that, they also offer you other ways to make money. There's a feature called Super Thanks that YouTube will qualify you for at some point after you've been monetized. There's also affiliate marketing that you can go out and pursue that in order to make money off of your YouTube channel, in addition to AdSense. You've got to upload consistently, okay? Now, by consistently, I don't mean every hour, but if you've started uploading videos every, 3 days a week, then continue that, okay? Build your audience. Take it from me, it will happen. And when it happens, you're not going to know when. You're not going to know what video is going to do it. Something's just going to pop at some point. And don't give up. And don't say, oh, well, this video got 10,000 views and now I'm getting 200 views. Keep at it. All right. Just keep at it. Because once you get monetized, here's the other thing. If you monetize all of the videos you've done up until that point, that means everything you've done, when it gets views, it's going to generate some revenue for you. So we've got a video on the channel, most popular video out there, called How to Read the Wall Street Journal. Well, it's not. Actually, now it's not the most popular, but it was How to Read the Wall Street Journal. We did this video like 3 years ago. It's still getting views. It's about 11,000 views right now. And people that watch it now, they're watching the ads on it. And it's kicking off revenue. I did this work 3 years ago. This is an ID. All of these really have a component that are ideal, that have you working a minimum amount of hours, able to scale up and do different things to generate revenue. Some of these, who knows, could turn into full-time and not a side hustle. All right, let me kill two birds in one stone here. Take a look at this video. This is a video about Goldman Sachs Marcus online savings account. Now, this is what you call an evergreen video. People have been coming to this video to try to figure out whether or not Marcus is for them. Watch this video, find out whether Marcus is for you, and get an example of what an evergreen video is, so that if you choose that YouTube option, maybe you can make some evergreen videos too. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.